Anna Nicole Smith's daughter, Dannielynn Birkhead, has just stepped into a completely new era of her life, and it happened in one of the most iconic and public settings possible, the 2026 Kentucky Derby weekend. At only 19 years old, she shocked everyone with a bold transformation that instantly became one of the most talked about celebrity moments of the year. This wasn't just a fashion change, it was a clear shift in identity, style, and confidence. For years, the world has watched her grow up quietly, often appearing once a year at the Derby alongside her father. But this time, everything felt different. This time, she wasn't just attending, she was making a statement. For those who have followed her journey, the Kentucky Derby has always been more than just an event. It has become a tradition for Dannielynn and her father, Larry Birkhead, who have attended together year after year in Louisville, Kentucky. These appearances have often been emotional, especially because they connect back to Anna Nicole Smith, who passed away in 2007 when Dannielynn was just a baby. Over time, fans have grown used to seeing Dannielynn in soft, classic looks, often inspired by her mother's iconic style. That made this year's transformation even more surprising. During the 2026 Derby weekend, Dannielynn revealed a dramatic new goth-inspired look that completely broke away from expectations. Her hair was one of the first things people noticed. She cut it into a shorter, edgier style and dyed it platinum blonde with dark black undertones, creating a sharp and striking contrast. It gave her a rebellious, almost cinematic vibe that immediately stood out in a crowd known for pastel dresses and elaborate hats. And she didn't hold back when talking about it either. She described the look as cool and crazy, even joking that she felt like a vampire, fully embracing the aesthetic. Her outfit choices matched that same bold energy. At the Barnstable Brown Gala, one of the most exclusive pre-Derby events, she wore a black gown with corset-style details and sheer layers that leaned heavily into Gothic fashion. The next day, at the Kentucky Derby itself, she continued the theme with a darker palette, mixing black and white tones with dramatic styling and confident posture. In a place where bright florals and traditional elegance dominate, her look felt almost rebellious, and that contrast is exactly what made people stop and pay attention. Standing beside her, as always, was her father, Larry Birkhead, who has been a constant and steady presence in her life. He has raised Dannielynn largely out of the spotlight, choosing a quieter life for her despite the intense media attention that surrounded her early years. But even he admitted that this transformation caught him by surprise. He joked about sitting in the salon, watching the hair change happen, and trying to prepare himself for the result. Still, behind the humor was clear support. He emphasized that this moment is about Dannielynn finding herself and expressing who she truly is. And that's what makes this moment so powerful. For years, Dannielynn has been seen through the lens of her mother's legacy. Every outfit, every appearance, every detail has often been compared to Anna Nicole Smith. Fans have loved those connections, especially when she wore her mother's iconic outfits in past years. But this time, she made it clear that she's ready to step out of that shadow. She openly said she appreciates the comparisons, calling her mom beautiful and iconic, but she also wants to be recognized as her own person. Social media reacted instantly. Within hours, photos of her new look spread across platforms, sparking a wave of reactions. Some fans were shocked, saying they barely recognized her. Others praised her confidence and individuality, calling the transformation bold and refreshing. Many described it as a coming-of-age moment, pointing out that this is the first time she truly feels like a young adult making her own choices, rather than a child connected to a legacy. And in many ways, they're right. This moment feels like a clear turning point. The setting of the Kentucky Derby made it even more impactful. The Derby is known for tradition, elegance, and a very specific kind of fashion. It's bright, polished, and often predictable, so when someone steps into that space with a completely different energy, it stands out even more. Dannielynn didn't just blend into the event, she disrupted it in the best way possible. remarkable. Her look challenged expectations and brought a fresh perspective to a long-standing tradition. But beyond the fashion and the headlines, there's a deeper story here about who Dannielynn is becoming. She's currently focused on her education, studying forensic science, and exploring other interests like culinary arts. That alone shows she's not simply following the path many might expect from someone with her background. While there's always been speculation about whether she'll enter modeling or acting like her mother, she has kept her focus on building a life that feels right for her. Her father has been very clear about this too. Larry Birkhead has said multiple times that he doesn't want to pressure her into the entertainment industry. He wants her to choose her own direction, whether that includes public life or not. And that kind of support is rare, especially in situations where fame is almost expected. It's clear that their bond plays a big role in how grounded she has remained over the years. At the same time, moments like this show that she understands the power of image and presence. Even if she doesn't fully step into the entertainment world, she clearly knows how to capture attention. This transformation wasn't random. It felt intentional, expressive, and carefully owned, and that's why it resonated so strongly with people watching. There's also something emotional about seeing her evolve in such a public way. For many fans, Dannielynn represents a living connection to Nicole Smith. Watching her grow up has been like watching a story continue after a tragic ending. So when she steps into her own identity like this, it feels significant. It feels like a new chapter, not just for her, but for how people see her. And maybe that's the most important part of all. This wasn't about shock value. It wasn't about rebellion for the sake of attention. It felt like a genuine expression of who she is at this stage in her life. And that authenticity is what people are responding to. It's what turns a simple fashion change into a cultural moment. Looking ahead, it's hard to say exactly where Dannielynn's path will lead. She could continue focusing on her studies and live a more private life, or she could slowly step into the public eye in her own way, on her own terms. What's clear is that she now has people paying attention again, not just because of who her mother was, but because of who she is becoming. And if this transformation is any indication, she's not afraid to take risks, to stand out, and to redefine how she's being seen. That kind of confidence often leads to bigger opportunities, whether in fashion, media, or something entirely unexpected. The world is watching, but for the first time, it feels like she's in control of how she's being seen. This Kentucky Derby appearance might be remembered as the exact moment Dannielynn Birkhead stepped fully into her own identity, not as a tribute, not as a reminder, but as herself. And that shift, more than anything, is what makes this story so compelling. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.